Now at 5, rain and storms having an impact on this Friday morning. I'll have the latest with radar and get you ready for the weekend.
What an opportunity for the Indiana Pacers here at home tonight in Game 4, looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead.
And who better than us to give you a game preview that's coming up in a few minutes.
And the countdown is on. We've got everything you need to know ahead of the game.
Oh, we are so close to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Now just 3.5 hours away to tip-off. The Pacers fans are hoping to extend the series lead that is now 2-1 in front of a full field house of Pacers fans.
It's exciting. Unfortunately, though, it probably won't look exactly like that because it has been raining on and off all day long. So fans headed to the game, or if they were going to do the watch party outside Gamebridge, well, that's canceled.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
unfortunately.
if you're going to be going anywhere else, then you'll probably need an umbrella.
Yeah.
So Angela's here tracking these pop-up rain and storm chances for us.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer about the watch party, but
Right.
you know, there are other ways to watch, and we continue to watch radar because there are still some showers and thunderstorms out there that will have an impact on our Friday night. So as you come downtown for Game 4, a few storms around, a few downpours around. That tip off at 8:30. You'll still run into some wet roads as you head home after the game as well. Now, it's not an everybody getting wet right now deal on radar. You can see where we have the pockets of heavier rain. We'll give you a couple of local views. Here's Marion County, so we're north into northwest Hamilton County. So think Sheridan and Cicero is where we have some of the heavier rain. We've been monitoring this cell north of Noblesville for some brief gusty winds as well. We can't rule that out with some of the cells between Anderson and Alexandria. These are all lifting off to the north. So heads up Tipton, heads up portions of Madison County as these will continue to lift north. Spotty showers around Greencastle, and we've got a cell just to the south of Crawfordsville. Future Track 13 shows the scattered showers, potential of a couple of thunderstorms lingering overnight. We lose a little bit of coverage, but pick that coverage back up with daytime heating tomorrow. We'll get into the weekend in a few minutes.
All right, Angela, thanks so much.
On to more news now.
It is fair to say that a little thunder is not going to be scaring off Pacer fans tonight.
The team is coming off that Game 3 win, leading the series now 2-1, and fans are about to flood the field house to see what happens tonight in Game 4. So we have team coverage tonight. We're going to start with Dom and Eli. The Pacers fought hard for Wednesday's win. I got to hear what you all think about tonight.
Well, it's just as important to get it done. That Game 3 is in the rearview mirror. That was made abundantly clear to us yesterday when we caught up with all these players and head coach Rick Carlisle. But look, there is a tremendous opportunity in front of the Pacers here tonight to take a 3-1 series lead to Oklahoma City. Anybody would have taken that 100 times out of 100 before the series.
Yeah, absolutely. Rick Carlisle has mentioned his team has to have a competitive greatness when facing this Thunder team. OKC has not lost back-to-back games in the postseason. They're 5-0 following losses. That's been the trend for both of these teams throughout the entire postseason. And it just goes to show every game is different, and the challenge is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. OKC is a statistically historic team. There's no question about that. Offensively, defensively, we talked about it all series long. But the Pacers found something in Game 3, whether that be the bench, whether that be defensively, whether that be Tyrese Halliburton answering the critics. A lot went right in Game 3. It's hard to replicate that performance in Game 4, especially as Rick Carlisle tells us with a team as talented as Oklahoma City.
The magnitude of the challenge with Oklahoma City is daunting because of the kind of year that they had and how great they are. I mean, you know, they're historically great in so many different areas, and they got the MVP. So it's hard. You know, it takes nothing less than everything we possibly have.
Everything that you possibly have. That's what you have to do, and they've done it to this point, and here we are, 2-1 series advantage, knocking on the door of a potential 3-1 series advantage would be incredible.
Oh my gosh, I can't even take my mind there. The game has to happen. It takes everybody. As Rick Carlisle said, it's not just going to be one or two guys. Full team effort to get it done against a team as good as Oklahoma City, especially coming off a loss. That's what's going on inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We'll send it out now to Marina Silva. Marina, what do you got for us?
Well, hey, Dom and Eli, we are outside Gainbridge. We're actually on Morris Bicentennial Plaza, and check out behind me. We got a lot of basketball fans excited for the game tonight, and even in front of Gainbridge, everybody just having a good time, hanging out and getting excited. Those doors open at 7. But hey, if you guys are coming downtown to the game tonight, there's a couple things that you do need to know. First off, tickets. There's a couple different ticket checkpoints, so make sure you have those handy. Also, when you're going through security at Gainbridge, they do have a clear bag policy. It's got to be a small clear bag, and they do check those. Now, like we told you at the beginning of the show, that watch party that was planned for here on the plaza, that's canceled due to the possibility of some bad weather. So you're going to want to find an indoor place to watch the game, and that's where we send it out to Logan Gay. Logan, how's the watch party, and where are you at?
Hey Marina, you caught me just in time. I'm at the dugout and my nachos just got here. Look at these look so good. Now I will finish those later because I want you to take a look around. As you can see that this place is starting to fill up fast with Pacer fans. You can see them right now wearing their Pacer gear. They are ready to go. In fact, we were here around 3:30 and there were already several tables full. And if you remember also, we spoke with the owner not too long ago who told us that he would suggest fans get here as early as possible, even though the game starts at 8:30. He said this place normally really fills up like at 6:30. That's kind of when like you can expect, maybe no seats left. So he said, don't risk it, get here as early as possible. And he said fans can expect a good night tonight with good food, good drinks, and of course a good game. And you know what, you can't beat that. Plus it's dry in here. So coming up next, I'll have more and we'll hear from the fans. But in the meantime, I'm going to get started on these nachos. And Felicia, back to you.
Logan, what kind of meat is on those nachos? Are those brisket barbecue?
Oh, yes, this is a pulled pork with barbecue sauce on them. So it's a barbecue like nachos. I love that. I love a sweet and savory taste. So this is like right up my alley.
Yes, I do
And
know
don't
that
worry,
you love that.
I'm going to share.
All right. Thanks so much, Logan. We'll check back. We do want to clarify the report about the bag policy. If you have a bag like this, it doesn't have to be clear. You can get into the field house tonight. It's more the size. And if it is oversized, they will send you away. They have a little container where you can put it in. The measurements are 6 by 9 by 1.5.
Yeah.
So it's kind of small, but a little fanny pack like this will be just fine.
Yes. Or take your husband and use his card.
His
Use
pocket.
wallet.
Use his pockets.
Yeah.
That is something I do often.
I always try to measure with your hand size. Like that's kind of a good way to measure it too.
Yes, but we did see a lot of people being turned away because of the bag, so keep that in mind. Now, as if Game 4 of the NBA Finals here in Indianapolis isn't enough, there are really a lot of other events that are happening around the city this weekend.
I mean, just today alone, there's Zubilation over at the Indianapolis Zoo starting at 5:30. You know that's their largest single event fundraiser. And that annual event is sold out with all the money raised going to the zoo's conservation efforts.
We also have the Italian Street Festival. It's happening right now. As always, it's at Holy Rosary Catholic Church. That's near East and McCarty Streets. That festival will run till 11 o'clock tonight, and then it's back, kicking off tomorrow at 5.
Yeah, I could do a cannoli or maybe some pasta. I could do it.
They got the meatballs.
Yeah, always. And then tomorrow morning, the Indy Pride Parade takes over Mass Ave. The entire parade, the entire street is just going to be blocked off and exciting. And it just kicks off a weekend of Pride events across our city. So all of this is going on. You can bet that we will see impacts on traffic.
Especially because that parade runs from 10 until noon on Saturday morning. Let's get a check on the roads around downtown with Rob. How are things looking right now?
Well, surprisingly, or I guess we should say not surprisingly, traffic is already picking up. Let's dive in. A lot of those events that you mentioned are all happening in a very confined amount of locations. So 3 of the events are happening in White River State Park, Zubilation, the Indians game, as well as the concert tonight. All of those happening at 7 7 p.m. And we're starting to see some slowdowns. West Street southbound, Pennsylvania Street southbound for the Pacers game and Italian Street Fest. Just know that already traffic is starting to back up, and this includes the same locations that we normally see. 65 southbound between the splits all the way to 70 westbound. We do already see those backups here. You're looking at Interstate 65. This is through the splits and also on 70 westbound. That's how far back it's backing up. If you're trying to get to downtown, I certainly suggest that you don't take the interstates. If you can take back roads, that's certainly going to be a little bit faster for you, just because the interstates are pretty congested at this hour. Guys?
All right, thanks so much, Rob.
Yeah.
On to more news. Tonight, nearly a dozen wanted and violent domestic abusers are off the streets. It's part of Operation Domestic Disruption here in the Metro.
Our Ashton Hackman now explains how this multi-agency task force aims to make a dent in the number of domestic violence cases here.
It's a problem that can impact neighborhoods of all kinds. Domestic violence turned deadly.
We're seeing homicides in our city from domestic violence, and we just want to make sure that you know you can connect with a resource.
Metro Police says Indianapolis averages 3 to 7 domestic homicides a year.
I'm going to confirm that it's Black Charger.
Statistics pushing police and advocates to make impacts and arrests.
The goal is to go out to serve warrants, arrest suspects, and provide immediate support to victims.
From Monday to Thursday this week, IMPD officers worked alongside local and federal agencies to conduct Operation Domestic Disruption, searching for and arresting 11 of the city's most violent domestic abusers.
These arrests are very important because it lets the community know that law enforcement advocacy, we are not giving up on this effort to eliminate and eradicate domestic violence from our community.
The arrest sweep not just focusing on wanted suspects, but victims needing the help.
Our goal is to give them hope that they can get some relief, and the main effort is to give support.
Support from community leaders and advocates like Indy Champions. Daniette Smith is a survivor herself, now working to let victims know resources are available.
If you can be a voice of the community to know that if domestic violence is going on, whether it's next door, whether it's a family member, to try to reach out to get them what they need. If they don't want to do it, get the resources and give them to them. They'll reach out soon.
A community effort to get victims help and hold offenders accountable.
IMPD says those not arrested during the sweep this week aren't off the radar. They're always looking for people with active warrants. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Ashton, thank you. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence and seeking help, we have put together a key list of resources for you to access right now. Just find this story online at our website, WTHR.com. Fishers police just announced the arrest of 2 men who are now accused of breaking into a home, attacking a woman, and stealing her property. Police say the burglary happened yesterday at a home in the community of Britton Falls.
Investigators say one of the suspects was caught yesterday and admitted to the crime. And then this morning, Fishers police took the second suspect into custody.
Ahead here at 5:30, protecting your brain health. This month's Checkup 13 highlights a crucial screening to help detect signs of cognitive decline. Angela.
Emery, we've been dodging some downpours today, and the overall weather pattern stays stormy. I'll explain in the 7-day.
We'll be right back.